Our guys are really locked in to getting better throughout the week, and I think when you can carry it out in the game, and it always shows up in the keys, and the keys in personnel and in the keys inside of the game. And the best thing is when they can make adjustments inside of the game because they know it could be better. And we have a lot of respect for Northwestern because they cut as hard and run their offense as well as anybody that we see. They have numerous guys who can make shots. And when you've got a guy like Trey Dempsey, who's the matchup issue that he is, and he made some tough shots today. I'm sure we're going to see some where we could have defended him better, but he also made tough shots. And we were really locked into making sure that we kept pressure on their guards, especially Bryant McIntosh, throughout the game. And one of the keys for us inside of this game is that Aaron Falzon, who was shooting 59% on the road from three in the Big Ten, didn't get loose. And he had some foul trouble in the first half, and he made 1 3 late. But again, those type of things are the things that we're really understanding, and we're playing hard and aggressive. Sometimes we're not staying as shrinking the floor the way that we need to, but the bottom line is they figure it out. And offensively, when we can get a stop and get the game going, it's really, really good for us because the ball movement is strong, because the body movement is really strong, and meaning that we're getting a lot of cutting and movement, and the more that ball can move, the better we are. But the keys where we didn't want to give them open threes, and we wanted to keep them off the foul line, and most importantly, they were the #1 offensive rebounding team in the league, and we wanted to keep them off the glass. And the second chance point differential, the rebound differential, and the fact that we had the free throw differential, those were huge, huge keys. And when we're playing like that and we're making simple plays on the other end, which still we've got to continue to learn how to do a better job of, but then we have a chance to keep improving, and that's what their whole mindset is about. We were in here last night watching film late, shooting free throws. They're right back in here this morning to stretch, walk through a couple things, watch some film, eat, right back in here at noon. And they had great energy to start the game, and I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the crowd for their energy, and it was fantastic. And Rob Judson deserves a ton of credit for the way that he prepared, as all of those guys do with Chuck Martin and Tim Buckley, but this was Rob's scout, and he did a fantastic job of leaving no stone unturned with our guys, and they responded. So a big win for us against a very good team.
First question, Alex.
What did you guys do to keep them off the offensive glass as well as you did?
I think we rebound every day in practice. I think we're getting more physical with our blockouts, and there's an awareness thing to it. I mean, there really is. I don't know what the rebound difference was as far as our guard rebounding, but that's so key for us as well. But our guys have a lot of respect for the opponent, and I think when you've got a team that respects the opponent and respects how they win, and doesn't take their abilities for granted, then that's good, and that's the hunger that we've got to play with, because again, the lead Clips, I think they had six straight rebounds in one possession, one trip down the court the other night against Maryland, and they are a team that thrives on the 50-50 balls, and we are too. So I haven't seen those numbers to see how those turn out, but we played Chris is a great coach. I said this yesterday. He's not a great young coach. He's a great coach. And he might be young in age, but he's not young in capability and not young in experience. And he's got a great staff over there with Brian James, I've known forever. So we have a great respect level for everything about Northwestern, and our guys played that way.
Terry.
Coach, you talked about ball sharing, but 48 assists in the last 2 games. I guess that says it all.
Well, it's the more simple we can make our passing, and the more active we can be in our cutting, the better we are. And we're moving the ball. There's no question about that. Sometimes we move it at the wrong time, wrong spot. But really, the last week, we've been really good about being on time, on target. And that's so crucial. You know, it's one thing to have a passing mindset. It's a whole different thing to have an accuracy level. And we knew with the absence of James, and we weren't as good at this early. We got a little better in Nebraska, a little better against Wisconsin, and it started to get a lot better. But we were going to have to move without the ball a lot more without him, because the spacing changes. You know, when you're guarding him, you're guarding James. I mean, and James goes to 23 feet, well, you're there with him because you know he can shoot that shot. And so we're seeing different defenses from people, and we just got to make sure that we're keeping the game moving from side to side, playing through the middle, playing out of the corners, but really just reading where the cuts are, and our guys are playing with their head up.
In addition to that, I think you had 9 guys made threes against Illinois, 7 today. I think you're shooting 50% from 3 the last 2 games. Is it just spacing, or guys just comfortable taking the
I
shots?
think it's that. I think we spent a lot of time shooting the ball, and we've definitely cut our practice times back, but we're not cutting the shooting out. And we're spending a lot of time on layups and in different layups, and sometimes it looks like it, sometimes it doesn't. We posted too low today. We've got to do a much better job of that. We started posting and catching, blocking under, and then we had 3 turnovers, I think, in the first half where we went out of bounds. And so we've got to do a better job there. So there's so many different ways to score. You want to make sure you're trying to cover as much of it as you can in your practice, but the bottom line is they got to be ready to shoot. They got to be confident to take the shot. And what our guys are doing are really making the adjustments with the way they're cutting and moving without it, and they're making the next pass. And that's when we're at our best.
Bob?
Tom, I know that OG didn't have a big game tonight specifically, but can you talk generally about what he's brought to the table and how he's kind of made the adjustment to
Well, you know what's happening with OG is we're starting to expect a lot more out of him. And so he may not have had the numbers, but like we're looking at him not as a freshman. So I guess that's the greatest compliment I could give to him, even though that he is. We're as nitpicky with him as we are with the older guys because he's capable. He's smart. He definitely has got to, his energy is a little mysterious sometimes because he doesn't always talk and is not as vocal as he needs to be, though he's playing hard. We need more of that from him. But what he's done is and we started to see this in practice right before the Big Ten. And it coincided, obviously with the injury to James, it coincided at a good time for him to be able to play. Because he got on the court, he can shoot the ball, but he's on the court because he can defend numerous people. And you can do a lot of different things with him. And as we continue to get better, and as he continues to get better, we're going to be able to do more switching. He's guarding more guards. He has to guard guys like Yogi and Rob every day in practice, so that makes him better. And he's very active. And so he uses his activity, he uses his athleticism. He's got pretty good awareness. And that sustaining intensity and energy has really picked up, and that's where he's good. And he started to really figure out the spacing. He doesn't have it, quite like the veterans yet, but he's getting closer to that, which, because of his ability to shoot the 3, should give him even more open opportunities. But when he's aggressive to the glass and aggressive defensively, and he can switch out and challenge shots and keep the dribble in front of him, he's really, really important to have on the floor.
Mike?
Yogi was talking about how the guys have to run 7 teams after they get a certain amount of turnovers in the game. Is that a recent thing?
Yeah, it's recent, yeah.
When did that start?
A few weeks ago. Yeah, I give them chances to, they win certain things to buy out of it, but they'll have one. We have a number, so they'll get one tomorrow night, unless they buy out of it in the sense of a competition. But it's just, it's really a Big Ten thing. But the bottom line is, these guys are too good to be giving the ball over or back like that, and that's going to be one of the biggest things going to Wisconsin. We gave them far too many opportunities to score here, off of our own mistakes. And we've got to really go up and keep getting strong with that. But we don't talk about, hey, let's not turn it over. We just keep talking about the decision making and keep putting them in situations in practice where they have to do different things. A lot of 3-on-4, 4-on-5 things when we can. And that stuff helps them. But again, when you're cutting and moving without the ball like that, it shouldn't be that hard. They should be. We really, really just need to be accurate. Right? If we're accurate with our ball movement, then we're going to get good looks. And then if we get to the glass, we got a chance to get the second shot.
Zach?
You've talked, I guess, for a lot of the last 4 years about consistently raising sort of the bar for Yogi as he improves. How much is he raising his own bar at this point?
Tremendous amount. Yeah, he's the work ethic is always a constant. So that's not any different. It's certainly not any less. And as you get to the age of him, it just continues to increase for him, and it was already pretty high when he walked in here. But I think it's he's sharing his knowledge, he's sharing what he sees on film. He spends a lot of extra time in film. He's way more vocal. And I, again today, I called a timeout that gave him the huddle because we needed to get our pick and roll defense fixed. And I'm very comfortable doing that with him. He just takes a seat and I stand behind him or stand on the side. And that's the kind of ownership you want from a guy like that. But it's got to be his idea, right? Because it can be a coach's idea all you want, but until the player makes it his idea, you're never going to get the full effect. And he's made it his idea. And if he keeps that up, he's going to keep having a really good year. He can't revert back. I mean, he's a very smart player, one of the smartest players I've ever had the privilege to coach. And when you got a smart player like that, you want them to share that knowledge, and you want them to share it in real time. Not just film sessions, which he does, and not just halftime, which he does, or post-game, which he does, but in real time, when the game is flying.
Tom, I know getting 1 year with Max is obviously its own sort of circumstance and situation, but how has he improved since he came on campus in September to where he is now?
Every area. At first it was athletically, and then it was footwork, and it coincided with him getting healthier, and especially his hip. And he's starting to see that ball go in. It's amazing the confidence level that people get, and when they see the ball go in the basket, and when their teammates want them to see the ball go in the basket, right? So he just continues to work very hard at that, and we just keep adding aspects to it. Whether it's the dribble you saw that, or the other night in an out-of-bounds play, side out-of-bounds play with 3 seconds to go. He went into a freeze move that was an option. There was 2 options coming out of the timeout with 3 seconds. And you got to make a quick play, right? There's not enough time. It's either one pass or go to the rim, and he made a great decision. He got fouled on the play because he put the ball out in front. And those are the type of things. We're very comfortable with him getting better with his handle. He can pass. The thing that he's really helped our team with, outside of the experience of being in this league and with understanding, post position and defenses, he really gets deflections. Really, really active hands. And I think it's just because, we coach him to be a better athlete every day. He's trained to be a better athlete, and we coach him to be one. And he's an integral part of the group.
Tom, the efficiency that the player getting from Colin since he's been a starter has been pretty solid. Whether he's producing a good amount of numbers or not, can you talk about that?
As far as his contributions?
Yeah, both offensively and defensively.
Oh, he's a mainstay. I mean, you saw it last year. I mean, he just keeps getting better and better. I noticed this in film from the other night, and I pointed this out to him and pointed it out to everybody else, and to James, who's going to be going through the same thing as he recovers. There were times when a guy would plant and run a crossover, okay, or change direction on the dribble. Last year, he wasn't healthy enough to recover and cover that. And now he is, right? So, he played last year not even close to the 100% athletically that he would need to be, right, to be a high-level player, but he was still the second leading three-point shooter in the league. So my point is he just continues to make progress. He's smart, he's tough, he's active, he sees things. He's aggressive. He can even be more aggressive on the glass. He can be even better cutting without the ball. He's got to play hands-free. That's the biggest thing we talk every game about, and we don't just talk at the game, into practice and segments of practice where we have to understand what the officials' mandates are, and it doesn't matter if we like it or not, that's what they're going to call, and we've got to deal with it. And he's one of those guys that's got to continue to play hands-free, move his feet, be active with his hands outside of his body, and he picks it up, right? He picks it up, but he gets a lot of assignments that are huge. Could do numerous things. We can play him at numerous positions. He ran some point guard today for us as far as setting up the offense. So, there's been a lot more adjustments maybe since James has gone down than meet the eye, because we got to continue to, and maybe you see it, but I mean, we've got to continue to create spacing for ourselves, because those first couple games, the lane was really packed in, and we've got to really make sure. And right now, when you're moving and they're playing with the confidence that they have, it's really hard to do that. And Colin, finishing your question, is a big part of that.
Good. Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.